Hello, everybody. My name is Graham. You are watching the political review. Look at that. Look at that. Making Gotham. Look what modern computers could do. Make words move on a screen. It's amazing. You know what we can't move? The Department of Justice to move on a conviction for Prince Andrew. Boy, they talk tough. They just can't seem to arrest this guy. How hard? They just can't. Oh, he's been implicated in this for 2 years now. Prince Andrew's gilded cage closes as Department of Justice reiterates desire to speak to the disgraced lawyer. Boy, that's tough. I love how the Department of Justice is acting like there's some grade school crossing guard that doesn't have a lot of authority. No, this is the royal family saying you're not going to arrest this guy, even though there's all this evidence. That's what this really is. But let's read this story that was in Yahoo and see how much bullshit it is. Prince Andrew has abandoned public life, giving up transatlantic travel, and spends much of his free time sheltering behind the high walls of various properties owned by his mother. Do we know that? No. Maybe he's flying around on unmarked private jets because that's what the billionaire pedophile ruling class can do. The rules don't apply to them. But let's believe for a second that he's hidden in a gilded cage and mother won't let him out. After that ridiculous interview, well, I lost my sweat glands in the wall. Like, shut up, you lying blue blood Brit. Shut it, you ruling elite. Oh, I didn't even know if that is my arm. Okay, right. It seems that Andrew is setting for a long and drawn-out war of attrition with no sign that U.S. authorities have any intention of giving up on their battle to force him to answer questions. Well, okay, this is mainstream media feeding you just enough information to make it seem like they're moving forward on the Epstein case. They're not. They could go extradite this guy in a heartbeat. Look how quickly they got Julian Assange the minute they leaned on the Ecuadorian embassy, right? Oh, people would say, oh, but he was in an embassy for years. Well, they were like, we want to get him. So we went to the embassy. Like, they could get this guy. I mean, Julian Assange is rotting in a prison, even though he's done nothing wrong. And yet Prince Andrew's free. I just want you all to weigh in. Just figure that out. They can't seem to get him. Where is he? Is the Chinese government protecting him? No, the British are. Because the British have a long history of protecting pedophiles, just like America does. Yeah, it's great. The U.S. and the U.K. have a close, productive, and resilient law enforcement and mutual legal assistance relationship. We remain in close contact on many active cases on a daily basis and will continue to seek assistance in criminal matters as we provide similar assistance in return. Wow, there's some cop double talk. What does that mean? Are you going to arrest him? Was Virginia Roberts Giuffre's sworn testimony not enough? What? But look, let's be real clear. They haven't arrested Bill Clinton, who was on Epstein's plane 26 times, publicly lied that he was only on 4 times. That any cop's eye is going to go, well, that person sounds guilty. That person sounds guilty. We have records of you being on 26 times. Oh, it was only 4. 4 times, by the way, is 4 times too many. Hillary was on twice. Trump was on once. Why aren't any of them being arrested or questioned? They're not, and they probably never will be. Which is why they keep feeding us this, like, maybe that's a long, drawn-out case. Really? Really? You can't just arrest some mope and put him in prison? Oh, we did that with Ghislaine Maxwell, but then her trial is set for a year later. So our trial is not till this November. Remember when they arrested her last fall? Oh, it just takes so long. How can we figure this out? These high-profile people that anyone can find in a day. But we can't. We just can't figure them out. Andrew has repeatedly claimed that he has offered to cooperate with the inquiry, offering the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York has previously told the Daily Beast that they want to talk to him, but have not been able to. Well, you saw that interview where he openly lied about this photo. So this is Virginia Roberts. She's a teenager, so this is a child. He even tried to say in the interview he wasn't sure if that was his hand. There's rat-faced pedophile sex trafficking monster Ghislaine Maxwell. And here's this fucking rapist piece of shit. And here's someone who went through hell and, was in hiding for 12 years and finally came forward. Why can't they get this guy? It's weird. They arrested, remember when they arrested Peter Nygard last year and I did that story? Oh, weird. There's Prince Andrew with Peter Nygard. And also another weird fashion industry. There's always ties to the fashion industry. I've shown you that. Epstein had ties to the fashion industry. Victoria's Secret, right? Les Wexner, head of Victoria's Secret, head of the North American Snake, right? Donald Trump had a modeling agency. That's how Ghislaine Maxwell would rope these children in. Of course, he had some creepy, weird sex island. Andrew visited him. Why is no one following in on this? There's Donald Trump visiting Prince Andrew in early summer 2019. And then Trump said, oh, I'd never met him. I don't know him. Maybe Trump had Epstein killed in prison because they were friends. You ever think of that? Maybe Trump did it. They all knew him. They were all friends with him. There's all this damaging evidence. All these women were, Virginia Roberts, by the way, trafficked out of Mar-a-Lago. Numerous women were trapped out of Mar-a-Lago. When Epstein, by the way, here's Prince Andrew with Epstein. There's Nygard with the Bushes. Nygard, Oprah featured sexual predator Peter Nygard on her show, and John of God too. So that was all. I don't know about one photo with a guy doesn't. There needs to be more evidence. That's not it. But when presidents are photoed with this guy, when presidents, they could arrest this guy if they wanted to. Today, they act like we're trying hard to track him down. They're getting a lot of pressure from people like this president, from this president, right? These are powerful people. This is the British royals, man. You don't think they have any power? So, well, there's another reason, and it's something we've covered before. I want to show you this. Remember? I'm going to show you that video of that ABC reporter that said we had this full interview. Let's watch. Okay? Let's watch what she has to say. Because this is, I've shown you this before, but it bears repeating now, especially since the Department of Justice is like, boy, we don't know we can't seem to figure out we don't know how to track this guy down. We just wish they would cooperate more. No, just go arrest the cat. It's not hard.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways.
Let's stop right there. The palace, meaning Buckingham Palace, found out they had all this information about Prince Andrew and threatened ABC a million different ways. They killed this story. She had this interview, and we're going to hear more. So that's why Buckingham Palace, that's why we get this. I mean, let's just go back here real quick. All right, let's just go back to this cryptic nonsense. This, right? This is what gets vomited up when you're being pressured. The Department of Justice, if they really want, because the Department of Justice doesn't mince words when they talk about Julian Assange. We want him in custody right now. He put soldiers, all that nonsense we've heard about Julian Assange was all bullshit. They don't mince words about Julian Assange, but when we're talking about a pedophile, who I just showed you all the ties to all the other pedophiles he's with, we get this marble mouth nonsense. productive and resilient law enforcement of mutual legal assessment relationship. We remain in close contact with the blah, 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 blah. That's Buckingham Palace saying back the fuck up. And American presidents, Trump and Clinton, going, do we need to arrest this guy? And Prince Andrew going, I don't want to be arrested because I don't want to hang myself with a paper t-shirt. Right? So let's go back to what she had to say.
We're so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago.
I had it all 3 years ago. The palace pressured us. Those are her words. Buckingham Palace pressured us. That's why they're like, boy, we're trying to. Because that's the other thing. If you were if you were a criminal that wasn't being protected by the ruling elite, and you were evading them, the Department of Justice were like, we want you in jail. Where are you? Show up now. Like, you better come forward now. And let's be real clear here too. If some country America didn't like was protecting some criminal, they would lean on them. Like, remember what they did to Ecuador when they had Julian Assange in their embassy? The IMF said to Ecuador, we're going to withhold a $500 million like loan or stimulus or some shit like that. They withheld $500 million, and Ecuador suddenly went, well, maybe Julian can't. Maybe we'll let the cops come in here. You know how quickly that happened? So if they really wanted this to happen, they could have Prince Andrew in bars, jailed right now on American. They could do that immediately if they wanted it to happen. But the ruling elites control America. They control the UK. They control all these countries. I mean, look at the rules for them. I mean, the Saudis chop up Jamal Khashoggi in a garden, and there's just tough talk, but nothing. We don't. I mean, they're still buying our weapons and bombing the Yemenis with it. We're still getting their oil. So there's just a different set of rules, and they put out stories like this to be like, oh, to make you believe, to trick you into thinking that there's we haven't seen, again, I don't know. I haven't seen a mugshot for Ghislaine Maxwell. I hope she's in prison, but where is she? Why can't we see her in jail? Why didn't we see Epstein in jail? Like, where are these people? We're all supposed to believe Epstein hung himself with a paper t-shirt. Maybe Trump had him killed. Maybe the Clintons had him killed. Maybe Mossad got him. We don't know. We know one thing. It wasn't, what we're being told is not the truth. We know that for certain. Like, it's, so I'll stay on this. I mean, I've been talking about this for 2 years. I'm not leaving it. But they just keep trying to put out these little nonsensical breadcrumbs, and they're always wrapped in bullshit. They'll give us some facts in there, but they're always wrapped in bullshit, which is what this one is. So, follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. And that's how you make Gotham great again, folks. You shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.